Glen Waverley, of course, of course. I used to live
Yes.
in Glen Waverley. I came to Australia. The old people in Ballarat and all that used to call. Sold all my belongings, I mean, all my property to finance this movie. Activity for 27 years by the British. So, and he was the only one who was given 2 lifetimes at Kalapani. That time was for freedom. Hindutva is today to cherish your Sanskriti. Through your medium, I want to correct this misinterpretation that.
Randeep.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good, Randeep. How are you?
I'm well.
Yeah. Good to see you again. It's been a while, but I wish you the very best. But before that, a big congratulations on your wedding last year.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It went a bit more viral than we intended, and but we had a lot of pouring in of love and blessings from all across the world, and we are very grateful for it.
Absolutely. Social media has its plus sides also, isn't it?
Yeah, some of them.
So let's look into that itself with
Where
when
where
you're talking
where are
about
you
your
where are
movie.
you speaking from?
Melbourne,
Melbourne. Oh.
Australia.
So
Yes.
whereabouts in Melbourne?
Do you know Glen Waverley at all?
Glen Waverley, of course, of course. I used to live
Yes.
in Glen Waverley.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
I've lived in Little Collins Street, Armadale, Caulfield, Glen Waverley, and a couple other places I can't think of right now. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely the world knows you're an Aussie mate. You've spent like I think nearly a decade here, if not. And I think I would say in 2016 something I had the privilege to host you for one of your events when you had come here
Oh yes, yes,
long ago.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, 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 yes. Now I
Yeah, and then
recognize
I
it.
was
Yeah.
yes. So and of course I've had the honor to promote your movies post
Thank
that
you.
in this virtual world. So hopefully we cross paths someday and we do welcome you to Australia with the work and personal intentions. So yeah, good luck.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Nandi, firstly, thank you so much for giving us your time. So, I will officially kick off.
What I would like you to do is not start the interview now, but from our very first word.
Absolutely. So, Randeep, once again, thank you so much. So, for giving us your time. Swatantrya Veer Savarkar is a biopic in itself, and it's more than what it's promising. It's a daring retelling of India's historic time that we've read in books, but today we are going to see it in cinemas. A story which, as you say, of a hero unsung, unacknowledged, unhonored, but I think it's about time, which is happening on 22nd of March. So we are definitely waiting for it to give it a roaring success, and more than that, a roaring, I would say Sadar Pranam to Veer Savarkar ji in that way. It's a Randeep Hooda film. Tell me, what made you produce a movie called Swatantrya Veer Savarkar?
Oh, it's a long story. I was cast as an actor, and as you said in your introduction, that we have read but not seen it on screen. My point is that you've not read also. Nobody's. I mean, unless you are really interested in going to a deeper research, this is not a part of history taught to us as Indians in school or colleges. Uh, we are only told that we got our freedom only through non-violence, and Indian National Congress is responsible for it, or was responsible for it, and there has been a one-sided storytelling which is unfair. Like we are at a different point of our journey as humans. There is social media and so much internet and information available, but nobody's been in it. Even when I was offered the role, I only knew Veer Savarkar, Kalapani. That's it.
Mm,
I didn't know anything else,
true.
and I was a history buff. So from there on, I started reading about it, and most books from a certain section of people only mention the armed revolution in a paragraph, and these people existed. They tried, but nothing happened. That is absolutely untrue. There were thousands and thousands of these people who took up arms, whose families were destroyed, who were hanged, who were sent to jails. There was so
Mm,
much that went on, but uh, you see, the victor writes the story, the history. Like
mm,
now, even in Australia, the atrocities on the Aborigine people is now coming out, and people are acknowledging. that this is a nation that belonged to them, it was their land. Similarly, the alternate side of our history, the other side, the hidden side, is also coming out via books, via channels, YouTubers, and also through my movie. So my movie is about this the armed revolution that happened to on and in which the contribution of Veer Savarkar was immense because he changed point of views of people. In 1907, he wrote a book called 1857, The First War of Indian Independence,
Mm-hmm.
whereas even I read it as the Sepoy 1857, the Sepoy Mutiny. So in London,
Yes.
he did a lot of research and he collated all the 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 the, the cases and everything, where all what all happened, and he wrote that book saying that if we all get together, we can throw these handful of British out in no time.
Mm.
If we start killing them, they won't know who's going to hit them where. We'll scare them out of the
Yes.
place. So that book then influenced all the armed revolutionaries that came after, like HSRA, which is the Hindustan Socialist Republic Association, of which Chandrasekhar Azad was a head and Bhagat Singh was a part of it at that time. There was a whole thing that you cannot be a part of it unless you read this book. This book was given to the Indian National Army when they were given a book, they were given a gun and a uniform and fleets and this book. So this book was inspired a lot of uh, uh, people to sacrifice their lives for the country, but they are not absolutely given the respect and recognition that they I believe they should. And then, of course, he was an intellectual giant, and he could see what was happening in the country with appeasement of a certain religion because they wanted a sultanate and Indian National Congress
No.
wanted a democracy.
Democracy.
That's why he coined this all-encompassing political ideology called Hindutva, which is quite simple. I mean, it's complicated when he rewrites everything complicatedly. You start reading the sentence,
Yeah.
by the time you end the sentence, you have to start again. So, so I'll sum it up for you. Hindutva was basically geographical, political, and
Mm-hmm.
civilizational identity of being belonging to a land which is between the Indus River and Bay of Bengal. Funnily enough, when my
Mm-hmm.
father used to work in the Middle East, and when we used to go there, or even when I came to Australia, the old people in Ballarat and all that used to call us
Yes.
Hindi, Hindu, Hindi. Whether you're from Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, or India, they were all called Hindi. They used to call me Hindi. So that was our identity at that time, and he made it into a political ideology for freedom. And people asked him, so that who's a Hindu? So he defined who's a Hindu. He says
Mm-hmm.
anybody who calls this land the land of their ancestors is a Hindu. Anybody who calls the cultural and uh, life a civilizational thing like your food, your clothes, what you speak, what kind of festivals you celebrate,
Tell me.
who think that are Hindu. And at that time, there was a uh, uh, big fear of a pan-Islamic attack from the northwest frontier province, uh, um, and he felt that a lot of the British forces are Muslim. If attacked, if the country is attacked in the name of religion, will they fight for religion or country?
Mm.
So he put in the last clause, and it is due to those circumstances, which said that this will be your land of your faith as well.
Mm-hmm.
Land of your faith and land of your karma is the same. So if you believe, if you love Hind, you're a Hindu no matter what religion, caste, or cultural background you're from.
How beautifully encapsulated. I think, as you said, it is more on the faith, but faith for Hind rather than, discriminating factors which were highlighted then.
Country should be above religion, no matter what religion that is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and that's what Rabindranath Tagore ji also highlighted in National Anthem, right? We are, as you're also putting it into the movie, Akhand Bharat Banayenge, of course, through the words of late Veer Savarkar ji. But, Randeep, we have beautifully encapsulated this, and of course, it does put chills through our spine, even thinking or even visualizing. Forget, thinking of the fact that somebody went through that for the love of his motherland. Do you think in this era of OTT, where everything is so fast paced or supersonic in terms of thinking or catching emotions, how is this going to deliver for people who are so used to having switched on content versus something such a independent and
This
armed
is
revolution war?
no, it is not an art movie. It's not an independent movie.
Yes.
I've sold all my belongings, I mean, all my property to finance this movie. It's not that. It is a fast
Mm-hmm.
paced, engaging thriller. I've made it for
Mm-hmm.
young people. This is not that preaching of Desh Bhakti and independence and all that. These people
Yes.
were very violent and very volatile people. So the movie is a movie, or it moves like a thriller. I've made it keeping
Yes.
in mind the younger generation, the generation of today. So I've got a rap song in the movie, for God's sake. So it's really a modern take of a historical figure and history. It looks real, but it is a modern take. All the camera work, the music, the dialogues and everything. It's not an independent, feeling sorry for yourself movie about a historical character that's going to bore you with all these. No, it's not. It's a fast pace, very, as you said, OTT. What was that? What content was that? It's a good word you used.
Yeah, highly engaging.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Highly engaging, energetic.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. It's a very fast-moving, highly engaging film. So please don't go. This is through your medium. I want to correct this misinterpretation that most actually it's nobody's fault because most biopics made in India are made like that. And
Mm-hmm.
Veer Savarkar was not like any other revolutionary. Neither is his movie.
Yes. So we're definitely looking forward to that because we are absolutely, used to your, blockbuster performance, be it any movie that you've done. We've seen you in Sarabjit, the level of homework you've put in, and this is now your home production. Of course, things come home ground and it comes with a different flair. And as you said, my question was actually going to be about the music, which is it's completely, I would say, a departure from normal, revolution based movies, let's say, krantikari movies jo hoti hai, where you have slow sung songs versus, as you said, engaging and super zappy music there. So definitely we are absolutely privileged to be sharing that message, and I'm very very honored to hear that from you. Yes, it is for today's youth in the way they like, because the message is more important the way it reaches, and it is definitely going to cause the revolution in their mind, be it for freedom or their mindset freedom. You never know, right? So
Hindutva at that time was for freedom. Hindutva is today to cherish your Sanskriti, cherish your
wow.
culture, cherish your civilization. That's what Hindutva's role is today.
Yeah, how mesmerizingly you've put in. Would you say that late Veer Savarkar ji also had of course written a book where जैसे स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों को वो दिया जाता था. It was more like a kit before they could join a particular squad or anything.
Yeah.
Do you think how and he was, as you said, he was a very intellectually charged man, like being a lawyer himself. What do you think? How did that book help per se? Like I'm sure you've done your homework. What was that chilling moment for you to say, oh my God, how amazing, like he was a Veer himself? Like what made you feel? Was there any particular incident in the whole story?
Man, he was kept in captivity for 27 years by the British.
Mhm.
So, and he was the only one who was given 2 lifetimes at Kalapani. So you can imagine what
Yes.
kind of a dangerous man the British must feel he was, and all these other misconceptions about him, apologizing to the British and being a British stooge. I just want to ask one question to those people. Then why did they keep him in captivity for
Hmm.
27 years? So
Yes.
all these things. So these were, and also he was kept in prison for a year and a half in free India when he
Hmm.
was falsely accused in the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. So he's a very tragic figure who people have always tried to, suppress. But
Mhm.
he's still in today. He's more relevant than any other historical figure in India and its approach towards the world and its own culture.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we are definitely looking forward. You've chosen a very good date, honoring the Martyrs' Day, which is closer to on 22nd of March instead of 23rd. And we are definitely sure that it's going to relay that feeling. And we've seen the story, the screenplay, you've produced it, you're even into the part of the dialogue, and we can see it from this interview itself how in depth you want to convey the message. And I'm sure the screen is going to do the same on 22nd March there. I am Deepa Aptani from Biscuit Showtime and Dynamo with Deepa. Randeep Hooda, it was an honor to have you for a
Thank
quick
you so much.
chat for your revolutionary movie called Swatantrya Veer Savarkar. Do you have any message for the audience before we leave
My
this?
message is that please go and watch this movie. It's not one of those boring movies. It's a very interestingly made movie, and I want you to go watch it and see a not told chapter of history or point of view of history, and decide for yourself whether he was a Veer or not.
अमेजिंग अमेजिंग ऑडियंस डिसाइड तो करेगी बट हमारे माइंड में ट्रेलर से ही पता चल गया है ही वाज डेफिनेटली अ वीर एंड आई थिंक वी शुड ऑनर हिम ऑन 22nd व्हिच इज नो डाउट अबाउट दैट सो 22nd मार्च एवरीबॉडी होल ऑफ इंडिया वर्ल्ड वाइड स्वतंत्र वीर सावरकर is hitting cinemas. Randeep Hooda, it's been an honor and our honor to you for playing this biopic which is a daring retelling of the story of Indian revolutionary and independence war. So thank you once again, Randeep.
Thank you.